Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Babushka lady and the JFK assassination, and I'm going to point out some more evidence that no one's never really talked about that I discovered in the films and images and everything else. Now, there is other people talking about the camera, the type of camera the Babushka lady was using, which they are correct. You know, it is a Sears Tower camera that she was using that day. But I'm also going to point out some other facts that no one talks about or even knew about. But like I said, I made these discoveries some time ago. It's just I never want to bring this information out too much because I don't want to make heat waves with a lot of people because there was a person out there that's claiming that she's the Babushka lady and everything else. But I think this evidence actually does need to be seen, okay, because the pure simple fact of it is this. In the JFK assassination, everybody that was there that day that was doing filming or taking images and everything else, turning in their films and turning in their cameras and everything else, and they received their cameras back and they received their films back, except for one person, was the Babushka lady. No one knows who the Babushka lady was. No one ever seen her images that she was taking and everything else. Okay, no one knew what kind of camera she has until recently, in the past couple of years or so. So see, there's a lot of things that surrounds the Babushka lady as a mystery. And that's why when it comes to JFK assassination, especially, it's a bigger mystery because people sitting there saying, who is she? Yes, like I pointed out, there was some lady right now claiming that she's the Babushka lady. But the reason why they call this lady the Babushka lady is because she was wearing a Russian scarf. Okay, so they dubbed her as the Babushka lady because she had a Russian scarf on. But there's a lot of things that when we watch films and images and stuff like that, people tend to overlook and don't want to point out these facts. But like I said, when I analyze films or when I go over eyewitness accounts and everything else, I have to catalog everything and mark everything down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point out some facts here and show you something and show you new evidence about the Babushka lady that no one's never even talked about or even knew about. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this image up, let's say right here. Okay, this is from the Bronson film. As you see here, here's the Babushka lady. Here's the Babushka lady. If you watch my cursor, this is the Babushka lady right here. And over here we got Mary Mormon and Jean Hill right here. And we got the Newmans right here and their sons. Okay. Now, as you see, she's got the camera in front of her face right here. And also, if you see Mary Mormon over here, she's got her camera really not to her face at this point. But we see that the Babushka lady has a camera up in her face. Now, what I'm going to point out is this. This is at the time of the assassination. As you see here, we have the Babushka lady filming the assassination, or taking images, I'm going to say, because this is still camera that she's using. And as you see, she's right here. And we have Jean Hill right here, Mary Mormon over here, which we see the camera up to Mary Mormon's face because she's taking her Polaroid image. Now, one thing I noticed when I was watching the films and images and stuff like that, I noticed that when we watch these films and images, everybody's dropping to the ground. Even Mary Mormon and Jean Hill dropped to the ground and stuff on this side, and the guy and his son dropped to the ground. And we see the Newmans over here dropping to the ground. And we see over here Mrs. Setzman walking away because there was Mrs. Spruder just walking away because they just jumped down off the wall. But the Babushka lady is just standing up. Like she's not even scared of nothing. She's just standing there. This what got me thinking, why is everybody else falls to the ground, but she still stands up? Just like even in this part of the film, another film. See, here's Jean Hill. She's down on the ground. Mary Mormon down on the ground. Guy and his son down on the ground. Here's the Babushka lady just standing up, and the cops are running all around the place, and all she's doing is just standing there. Okay, she's just standing there, holding that camera like this. Just holding that camera like that. So I was sitting there, and I started looking at like this right here. Okay, we can see she has a Sears Tower camera right here, and that's what she has. And if we look at something else too, is we notice the bag that she has on, which no one ever talks about, We can see it's got a shoulder strap to it. And the type of bag she's got is either a camera bag or a messenger bag on. Okay, it's not a regular genuine purse or anything else like that. But we see it's either a camera bag, which is a pretty good stout size camera bag, or a messenger bag she has on, because this doesn't has handle to it. It has just that one plain shoulder strap here, and you can see that adjustable part where you can adjust it to your shoulder here, or if you put it over here, you can move that around the top of the strap right here, where you can move around like you would on a rifle as well, because they have the same kind of shoulder pad things on them. But we see it's a box camera, and we can see it's a Sears Tower camera. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you in a Zapruder film. I got frames 274 to frames 314 as Zapruder film, as you see behind me. We're going to view it, and then we're going to view it again. And I want to show you something that a lot of people has overlooked. I want to show you something that's really got red flags up for me. And to me, after seeing this and seeing some of the evidence and everything else and piecing this together, the Babushka lady is something we have to look at, because something's not right there. But let me go ahead and go into the Zapruder film and show you. Then we'll go over it again, and then I'm going to point out what we see in the Zapruder film about the Babushka lady. Take a drink here. Like I said, we're starting off with frame 274. Now, the Babushka lady doesn't come in frame until frames 275, which we see part of her shoulder right here and everything else. Then she comes into complete frame right here. Starting in frame 276, she comes in full frame. Then by 297 of the Zapruder film, she is no longer seen in the Zapruder film. So I'm going to continue on to the headshot. Right there, frame 214 is where we're going to stop at. Now, I'm going to view it again, and I want you to view it too, and I want you to keep a close eye, because after this, I'm going to point out something that no one's never talked about or no one even knew. I've known this for a few years now. Like I said, I just kept this on the back burners because I'm still looking in, trying to ID the Babushka lady. But we'll just view this in motion. Now, the question is, did you notice anything? Did you notice anything? Now I'm going to point it out. Okay. Excuse me. Here's frame 274 of this Zapruder film. The Babushka lady is now coming in frame. And she goes out of frame by 298, 297, basically. So we're going to go back. I'm going to show you something. Oops. Now we're going to go back right to here. Now what I want you to do is watch my cursor. Look in this location right here. Keep your eye on that location. Okay, as you noticed, we're going to start there. Keep your eye on this location here as we follow along the Babushka, which I'm going to stop at each frame. 277, 278, 279, 280. Keep an eye there. 281. That's 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. Now, you notice I stopped there. Why did I stop there in frame 290 of the Zapruder film? Because the Babushka lady just turned on a light. Watch. We'll go back. As you watch it, see, no light. There's no light. There's nothing glowing here. Light comes on, and now it stays on. See? There's a light. There's a glow right here. Glow right here. Glow right there. No glow. No glow in the other frames. But now, as soon as we get to this frame here, now there's a glow. A light is being turned on. And right here, it keeps on staying on, as you noticed. Right there, see the light? Still glowing. Still glowing. Still glowing. Now she's out of frame. She turned on a light. Now, I'm going to point this out. This is that camera she was using. But I also want to show you this. The only light for that camera is a flash lamp light, which is on top of the camera. As you see here, on top of the camera. The flash is on top of the camera. But when we view the Zapruder film, we're going to notice that the glow right here, which is a clear frame, right here, camera's up here. It's like she has it like this, her hands like this, and she turns something on down here, as you see here. We're going to zoom back, and then we'll go to a clearer frame, which is this one right here. This is a real clear frame. You see that glow? There's a light on, not even to the camera, because we can see the camera right here. It's not even attached to the camera, because here's the camera right here. Here's the box camera. Here's the lens. Here's the top of the camera and the bottom of the camera. And it's right down here. The light is shining now. Now, why would somebody be turning on a light in daytime? Okay. So then I went ahead and I was like, okay, well now she turns on the light, which was, watch this Zapruder film here. Here she is right here. I know I'm over here. Okay, I'm over here. But we'll see her right there, turn on that light, and frame 290. She turns on the light. Now remember, JFK was shot in frame 313. So for 23 frames, that light was on before that fatal headshot. So we have 23 frames of this light being on before JFK was shot in the head. The light was turned on right before JFK was shot in the head. Why? Because we see Jean Hill right here. We see Mary Mormon right here. We see the Babushka lady over here. She turns on the light because that's what's making it glow. Because as you notice, anything around her, the surroundings of her, there's nothing glowing. Okay? Even when we go back and we trace this back to this frame here, as you see, same position of stuff, nothing glowing in this area. Then we'll go to the next frame, right here. Then we have the glowing starts, right here. That's the glowing and starting. Okay, she's still in the same position stuff. There's just something turned on. And then it stays on as you see right here. And here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. So we see frames 96, 90, 95. We'll go back from frames 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97 is when it's when the Babushka lady is completely out. But here we have 6 frames that shows the Babushka lady having light on. So what I did was I went ahead and made a map like this. Okay. And as you see here, here's the X where JFK was shot. Right in this location here is when the light came on, right before he was shot. Now what I did was, after I did that, I went ahead and did this and find out the view that anybody would have to see that light come on. And as you notice, only time a person could see that view of that light coming on in this location right here is we're talking about from the shelter to this side right here. And this is where the brick wall is right here. And the picket fence is right along here, but here's where the brick wall is. That's the only person that's going to see the view, because remember, we have Mary Mormon and Gene Hill next to, almost close to the Babushka lady, which is going to disrupt a lot of view. Okay, but she turns on the light. She turns on the light to warn somebody or give somebody heads up, take the shot. Okay, because when we're watching the films and we're looking at it, this is the reason why no one knows who she is, because it's like she disappeared off the face of the earth. Okay, was she there to be along with the assassination, to warn the guys that's inside shelter number 3 whether to take the shot or not take the shot? The light off means don't take the shot, but with the light coming on means take the shot. Okay, that's why there was no communication with them. Could she been one of them people behind the assassination that we don't know about? Because, like I said, no one knows who she is. No one knows or even seen her film or her camera. If you look at this, 50 years has gone by, 54 years now, and you're telling me on 54 years that they could not track down this woman here. They could not sit there and a brother, a sister, or son or daughter, or a husband, anybody say, oh, that's my wife, or that's my mom, or that's my grandma, or one thing or another. But no one's never said, or that's my sister, okay, or that's my aunt. You know, None of her family members or anything else like that came about or said anything about this. And here is a woman that has an image, or she was taking images. Because remember, when you're planning an assassination, and if you look at the JFK assassination, it's very well planned. And you want to make sure the job gets done. Now, whoever was behind it wants to make sure that the job was done. So whoever's behind it's not going to be there. They're just going to have the people they hired to be there, and they need them people to let them know that if the job was done or not. As you go over my research and stuff, you'll see where I point out when Mr. Sprudin went like this, coughed, and then bring his hand up to here like this. And you'll see that when they brought Oswald in, he puts his fist up like this, like a Russian symbol stuff. Now we have a woman here with a babushka, with a Russian scarf on, okay, which they dubbed her the Babushka lady. She has a Sears tower camera, with only has a flash on it, but she's sitting out, and all of a sudden a flash, her light comes on. She turns on light at this point because you got the box camera, which I'll use this camera here, okay. She has a camera up here, but then a light comes on down here when the flash goes up here, but the light's down here below the camera. Now, if you're doing this to take a picture, you would have the flash up here and the flash bulb will go off like this. But there's not a flash bulb on this camera. There's not even a flash on this camera. So this is a straight box camera, and there's no light sensors or anything at the bottom of the camera. So she actually turns on the light. That's what I said. Nobody talks about this or even knew about this, but I do, because I have to go in details. Everything that I see in these films and stuff, I mark them down, and I got to go back over because they're pointing at red flags to me. Now, we have a lady here, a Bush lady. No one can ID or anything else. No one's never even heard of her or anything else. But she has a light on right here. It's not one light. It's a double light. It's like, like two lights going on at one time, or a straight long light. It's a light being on right here, as you can see right here. But there's a break in between these two lights here. Do you see what I'm saying? But when we look at the images of her holding this camera and stuff, we can see there is no lights at the bottom of the camera, because right here actually is the bottom of the camera. There is no light on that camera, as you see here, because this would be the bottom of the camera right here. Right here, you see there is no light on. But the light goes on up here up top, and then as you see, this person here is holding the camera like the Babushka lady's holding the camera. That's the reason why I show this image here, because you can see the top of the camera's here, and this is the bottom of the camera. There is no lights at the bottom of this camera. There is no lights at the bottom of this camera, as I'm pointing out, because there's the knob right here. Here's the knob, here's the knob, here's the shutter click, there's a shutter click right here. Okay, this is the same kind of type of camera, but there is no lights here. But when we watch a Zapruder film, she waits to a point, as you see right here. This is 276 right here, frame 276. As you notice, she don't even turn her light yet on. It wasn't to a certain point that she turns that light on, which is right here. She turns that light on and keeps it on. Okay, And it's right before the fatal headshot to JFK, because light, this being this location here, she wasn't in this location. Oops, sorry, magic. Now you know how we do these. Now you know how to do my filming. But anyway, I didn't want to push all them X's and stuff like that. I wanted to close this one box out. It's not, she was standing over here when she took the image, okay, when she was turning the light on. I put it this location here so I can have a markers, because this is where she actually turned on the light, right in this position right here, because she starts facing this way. She started facing this direction when she turned on a light. So I marked it right here to see how close it would be to the X, because she would be right here when she turns on the light. So with her being right here and turning on a light, I had to see how far she would be from one location to the next of where that X was, where JFK's fatal headshot was. So basically, she turned it on, and as soon as she turned that light on, that means a go, and they took that fatal headshot, which came from the shelter. Because as I point out, there's only one view you can get from that distance, okay, from where she was located at, past, because you got Mary Mormon and Jean Hill over here as well. You got the Newmans over here, and they got to be able to see that light come on, especially with the sun, coming down. It's daytime, it's 12:30, and the sun's right above us, so no one's going to have no flashes on their cameras anyway. Everybody's going to be filming without lights on or anything, because you got pure daylight there. But here's the Babushka lady turns on her light to let them know to take that shot to JFK. You see what I'm saying? So see, there's a lot of questions that be brought up, and a lot of people don't point these things out, but I point them out because she has to be in on it. And here's the reason why I said, because of no one knows who she is. No one's never seen her films. No one's never seen her after that day. After that day, no one's never seen her. So where did she go? She didn't drop off the face of the earth. She went somewhere else to show them, hey, this job was done. Here's the image right here of JFK's head exploded open right here. Okay. She gave the warning sign to the guys. There's the light coming on. Because, see, people sit there and want to talk about the Babushka lady, but they're not pointing out things like I point out. Like I said, when we look at the Babushka lady, she has wrapped around her either a camera a camera case, or a messenger case, a bag or a camera bag all around her with this strap on right here. Now, this is not a daily purse that someone wants to wear around every day or nothing, because you either carry cameras and stuff in there, or she could throw her light in there, or, it could be a travel bag where she just brought her stuff into there. So after her assassination was over, she could throw it all in there and walk away and then go to the airport, take a flight out of there. You know, no one really knows who she is, because no one's never talked to her. No one's never got her testimony. No one's never seen her film. No one's never seen her camera. Yeah, there's a woman out there claiming that she was the Babushka lady, but see, she wants to make up the story that she's a Babushka lady. I'm sorry to say it that way, because her story doesn't fit what we see in the films or images, like the type of camera she uses and everything else. But she don't know how much more she might be getting herself in trouble by posting false information, because wonder if the Babushka lady was part of the assassination. She was there. They also take images to make sure that the job was done, because why would she be sitting there with a camera purse on, a camera case, carrying around a camera case or a messenger bag, using this type of camera here, which has a flash on it, but no lights on the bottom. But then when we watch this Zapruder film, she goes ahead and turns on a light, which is called a warning light for some places, because some people do that when they're undercover or something. They give somebody a signal, which is basically a light or certain things or certain sounds or something, let them know that someone's coming or what to do. And as you see here, it's like giving a green light. There is a light on. She does turn a light on. There's no doubt that she didn't, because we could see this in the film, in the Zapruder film, that we could see all these frames here from frame 276 here, 76, 78, 7, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. Okay, we had all them frames where she didn't turn on no light. Did not turn on no light whatsoever. Then all of a sudden, she turns on the light at frame 290. and then it stays on as she vanishes out of sight from the Zapruder film. Because even here, you can see it's a double light that we see in this frame here. See how it's a light here, on both sides. Okay, the light is shining. That's the Babushka lady. We'll go in again and look at it one more time. We see the light on right here. Here's her camera, here's her hand, here's her other hand right here. So basically she got the light on like this with the camera on like this. So right there, who knows, she might not even took a picture. She might have just been there just as looked like a bystander and just give them the signal. And basically, when I see something like this, that's what it's like. It's like giving somebody signal, especially when you turn on a light and you're not, and as soon as you turn on a light, just a few just not even a second later, his head opens up. I wanted to make this video and give this information out so other people knows this information and stuff. Okay, I'm still looking on trying to ID the Babushka lady, but it's going to be very hard. I'll look for details as I point out here. Everybody else is hitting the ground, but she's still standing up like she feels like she's safe and stuff like that, especially as a female. She should have been dropping down to the ground as well like everybody else does. But anyway, I want to bring this information out that she had either a messenger bag carrying around with her or a camera bag. I should point out that she has no lights that's around this camera whatsoever, but in a Zapruder film we can see she does turn a light on, as I point out in the film. And a lot of people says, oh, well, this or that. It's in all the frames, it's in all the films. If you watch any type of Zapruder film, even when you watch a Zapruder film, you're going to see it in motion. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch it one more time, and I'm going to just go regular standard like this. See how the light came on? And then when we go back, light goes off, light comes on, light goes off, light comes on. You see what I'm saying? So see, she does turn on a light. Is it a warning light or a warning signal that she's giving somebody? Could be. I don't know. At this point, I'm still investigating that part. But like I said, I have my notes down and everything else, and I just want to give this information out so other people see it as well and know this information. So if they want to get looking into the Babushka lady, know this information that she had this on, that on, and she did turn on a light when she was when Mr. Prude was filming. She did turn on a light right before the headshot occurred. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Post this video on the social media networks. Tell your friends, families, relatives. Let them all know this information, plus information from my other videos as well. Thank you, and you have a pleasant day.